Hello, everyone. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I don't know if there's any noise coming through, any sound. You can hear me. Good. Brilliant. It seems like my little webcam is working. Well, welcome to my live chat. It's the first one of these I'm doing, so I don't really have a big plan. I'm not going to be on for very long, probably no more than an hour or so. But thanks for joining, Gage Silver. I thought about a couple of things I wanted to talk about, and I put them in the title. So just generally talking about stacking, a bit of pouring, and it's that wonderful time of the year when it's nearly Christmas as well, which is great. So yeah, anything you want to ask about my stack or my videos? Well, yeah. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe less. Depends how many people come along and say hello. I've got all my hand-poured silver to get out and play with, even if no one else comes along. So I'll just sit there. What's in the box? This is my sovereign. Not my sovereign, sorry. It's my Krugerrand. This is my little gold Krugerrand I inherited from my grandfather. So I thought I'd just get a bunch of little selection of things out to play with. So it wasn't meant to be a secret or anything. It's kind of, these are the cool little bits that I've got basically that I have out on my desk to hand, and I enjoy getting them out and having a play, having a feel. Is it updating for you on the actual image? Are things moving? Because on my YouTube live page it seems to just be the same image. So don't really understand how this YouTube live works. Okay, good. Well, at least it's moving then. It just doesn't seem to be moving on YouTube stream website, which is a bit odd. You'd have thought that would be the case. But I've got the encoder working and I can see the image on there. How would you like to have a quick look at a sneak peek of some bars which I've made recently and had stamped up? Well, hello to 2 new viewers. I don't know who you are. It doesn't really... I'm not used to YouTube, so I don't know who you are. But if you're joined, please do comment and join the chat. I'm just about to jump out of the live webcam and show a few of these lovely little paws which I've made recently and stamped up. So hopefully this will work. So hopefully you guys should now be seeing bar number 40, which is a shiny pirate round. Do comment if you can't see it. It'd be good to know if you can or not. And here's another one of my hearts which I did recently. Hi, Backward Silver. Thanks for joining. Thanks for commenting. How are you? I was just showing Gage Silver a few of the pieces that I've made and had stamped up and finished recently. These were some of the ones that you might have seen in the pouring videos which I've released this week. Hello CM Silver. Thank you. How did I stamp the pirate round? With much difficulty. So yeah, they're not the easiest ones to do. Here, I'll jump back to the webcam because they're basically a bit one-sided. They can spin around, which is kind of cool. But yeah, they're very difficult. Fortunately, I have a pretty nifty stamping block. Let me just go grab my stamping block and I'll show you. So this is my stamping block, and yeah, it's pretty difficult to get the pirate round on it. As you can see, it'll just move around. You won't be able to get a good flat surface to work on because of the nature of it. But I wouldn't use the steel side, by the way, for something like this, because you'll just damage the 3D part of it. Yeah, I mean, it was a pain, don't get me wrong, but basically, if I get one of my little things out, it's a case of kind of having it at an angle like this, and then popping a finger underneath it. Sometimes it's a little bit smarty, hurts a little bit, but basically just having it on there, having it there, and then you've got a kind of firm surface to work with. It does work, but it's not easy by any stretch. So yeah, it does move around a lot, but I think I've done a pretty good job. These are pretty cool. I'll just jump out and show you again. So that's the sort of result of the shiny pirate round. And I've got others as well. There's some really cool pirate rounds that have come out. So that's number 45, if you can see that one. That's got some really cool ripple lines, and the back of them are really cool because they end up feeling really sort of ridged. You can really feel the cooling lines on them. Yeah, a hot glue stick would be a good idea if I had any, but yeah, that's a good idea, Gauge Silver, actually, to use something else to prop it up. Perhaps that's something to try next time, as there were a few times that the finger was pinched a little bit. It wasn't like anything horrible, but yeah, interesting. Good idea. And show you another pirate round. They are coming out really nice, these pirate rounds. I do like them a lot. So I'll definitely be pouring more of those, I think, in the future. What do you guys think? Do you like the pirate rounds? Do you like what I'm doing with them? Or do you prefer the traditional ripple rounds, which I've made before? Those seem to be very popular. I've made all of those and they sold out quite quickly of the old batch. So I've got a few more ready to go when they come live, probably next week. Well, that's good that you like them. At some point, I think I want to do a little sort of Survey Monkey type thing. There's a website called Survey Monkey, so you can get a free kind of survey. You like the ripple round? I love the ripple round, so they're I think one of my favourites. And it was so like weird when Mr. Zeke got his and said it's like ripples on a pond when the leaf hits it. I hadn't even thought about that at all. And then when he said it, it was just like, oh, actually, yeah, that's a nice little thing. So yeah, no, I really like the ripple rounds. They're kind of my my signature dish, as you like. Yeah, I really like them. So yeah. No, I'm not going to do a live pour, unfortunately. Maybe one day. Maybe I'll do one at some point in the future. But no, not tonight. I've done a fair bit of pouring earlier today. I've got a pouring video to release. I'm probably going to release it tomorrow. So I've got quite a few videos that have come out recently, and I didn't want to release quite a lot all in one go. Don't want to make you guys all sick of me and my lovely dulcet tones of my lovely voice. but hey ho. But yeah, no, I will be maybe doing a live pour at some point in the future. I know, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's great fun. It's not a perfect pour by any stretch, and I really want to get it right. But it's very cool. Unfortunately, as you may have seen in the video I did, the centre bit broke on the graphite mould. So if I pour another one, I won't have this hole in the middle, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, it's very cool. I think it's just the way that I've kind of poured. It's 7:10 in the evening, Red Rum. And by the way, hello. I didn't say hello to you. Did I ever fix it? No, the graphite snapped off the mould. I'll just grab it and show you. So, yeah, the graphite snapped off the mould, unfortunately. So it was a bit annoying. But as you can see there in the middle, it's fine. It just needs a little bit more sanding down to get it nice and smooth. Hello, hidden numismatist. Sorry. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Yeah, so you can still pour in that, no problem. I think the problem I've got is that this is kind of the maximum amount of silver that I can get in a crucible at once, and I think just because of the nature of this mould, it's quite difficult to get it to kind of fill out and be smooth and even across. So I think the problem is I just don't have enough capacity in my little tiny crucibles and my tiny smelting furnace. So I might just hold off on this one. Same with the dragon rounds that you may have seen in a couple of other pouring videos, which is a bit of a shame. But you know, one day when I get a larger kiln or something, then you know I'll be just fine. But it's a little bit annoying because I really like this cog. It's very cool. Maybe I'll try another couple, because the worst case scenario for me is I'll just cut it up. So if you heat this up with a blowtorch, this will cut up with tin snips really easy. So hello, Canadian Silver Saver. Yeah, no, I definitely want to get this cog sorted. Definitely want to get the cog sorted. So what's everyone been up to this lovely weekend? I don't know what it's like. In fact, I don't even know where half of you are from. I know where Canadian Silver Saver's from. That's fairly obvious. But down here in the UK, we've had the most glorious week of, you know, those kind of really cool, cold, crisp days. Hello, vegan silver stacker. Hello, and hello, Agenda. Morning. Gosh, you must be over on the west coast of America then, California or something. But it's been the most amazing week here in terms of like just glorious blue sunny skies during the day. Like you'll wake up in the morning and there'll be an absolutely horrendously thick frost, and it's just really, really cold. But then by about 11 o'clock in the morning, it really heats up, and it's actually, you could go out for a nice long walk in you know, a shirt and jumper basically. You wouldn't need a coat. And it's been absolutely glorious all week. So I'm fortunate enough to work from home, so I can go out with the dog, sort of for my lunch break, have a nice long 45-minute, hour-long walk, and I've done that every day. So yeah. So so far we've got Canada, we've got California, we've got Florida. Haha, before I put... Do you know, it's quite funny. I kind of said that in the In Focus Friday episode, just as a little bit of a joke. And also I didn't really know what to say. I don't really plan those episodes. I just kind of blurb and barble when I'm talking about things. But do you know what? Like, everybody's come to this bar's defence. So it feels a little bit like, you know, one of those things where you've got a bunny rabbit and you've got a gun to the bunny rabbit's head. So yeah, don't worry. I won't melt it. I won't melt it. I'm just going to go wash my hands because I've got all this graphite on my hands now. So I'll just be back in a moment. Talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. Right, so far, I'm going to keep a little track of on a kind of a map where we've got people from. So we've got California, we've got Florida. Now let me get a piece of paper. So we've got California, Florida, Canada. There's me in the UK. We've got Virginia. It's amazing, this internet malarkey, isn't it? Crikey. So, are there any requests of things that people want to see? Maybe they've seen them before. For those of you who didn't join right at the start, I showed a couple of pictures of some bars which I've had, or which I made this week and have finished up and polished up. So I'm just going to jump out of the webcam again, and I'm just going to quickly show a couple of them because they're really kind of cool. So there's one of the pirate ripple rounds. We got so Red Rum, you're in Illinois. Sonoma County. That must be. Are you guys? It's Californian county, of course, yeah, because it's not just the states. Forget. Right, let's show you one of the. So some of these ones here, you won't have seen in pouring because they haven't gone live yet. And I'm going to release the video probably on tomorrow with some of these pours. But I think some of these pours have come out incredibly well. Really happy with the way that they're going. So, right, we're up to lofty heights now, double figures. We've got 12 people watching. Welcome everybody if you've just joined us. So I'm showing just a few of my nice new hand poured pieces which I've made recently. Do comment in the chat box to say hello if you're new, if you just joined us. I hope these pictures are working out for you guys and they're coming up. I'm still getting used to these encoder things. Yeah, it seems Agenda. It seems like Saturday pouring is a really good hobby to do. I did some pouring this morning. In fact, these ones I poured this morning. So Gem Geek, hello. Oh, hi Nicole. How are you? So we've got now Texas as well. Excellent. And right, so let's go back to the webcam. Now, Nicole, you've just joined us, but you are privy to certain information that other people aren't. Some of you may not. Well, no one knows this. I haven't told anyone except Nicole, because she was lucky enough when she ordered some of my backyard bullion pieces that she got a special bonus present, and it's pouring. So here we go. Here is the latest backyard bullion product. It's a handmade Christmas candle. It's really nothing special, but this year we decided, Mrs. Backyard Bullion and I, we decided that we would go and hand make a load of Christmas presents. So we are making a whole bunch of Christmas candles. So we've got that one there. We've got one in green wax as well, which has come out really well. But we just used a little silicon mould, and it cost £5 off eBay. Hello Matthew Prince, we've got someone now from the UK. I'm afraid you're a little bit outnumbered in the chat room here, but it's good to have you. Thank you for joining. But yeah, nice little fun thing to do. I'd really like, if you're a pouring fanatic, go get some candle wax and melt it down. It's dead easy. Just you can pour anything you want really. Quick YouTube video to find out how to do it. Easy peasy. But yeah, latest backyard bullion products. Not silver or gold, but there you go. So we've got AG Ender. He's going to do some pouring today. Anyone else a pourer who's going to do some pouring today? The Zelda shields, those look pretty cool. I have to say though, I'm not really a big Zelda fan. No pouring today for you then, but you do pour. Tell me then, what do you like to pour? I think I've probably seen some of your videos, but I can't remember them off the top of my head right now. I'm going to jump into your channel, Vegan Silver Stacker, and have a look now. Oh yes, now I do remember. You've done some Zelda bars as well. Oh, and I remember I liked your Kit Kat bars. Those ripple lines on those Kit Kat bars were really very cool. So yeah. Good stuff. Hello, Mr. Silver Vessel. Welcome to the live chat. Any ideas on where to start videos on pouring? Are you looking to like watch people pour? If you are, then I'd recommend Mr. Zeke, and I'd recommend Hi Ho Silver. Hi Ho Silver and Mr. Zeke were the two that I started watching over the summer, and they just got me hooked. And that was it really. Just kind of mesmerised with the way it works and the silver. Yeah, definitely start with Hi Ho. He's kind of the master. He's the big old inspiration for most people. Other than yours truly, of course, but I'm still pretty crap. I can't get half as much good pouring as Hi Ho Silver. Half the stuff I do is well, could end up a bit crappy like this cog. I know some of you like it, but yeah, it's not perfect by any stretch. I tend to pour 999 silver. I have done 925 silver, and I've got this heart here, which is 925 silver. And I think if I show you this against one of the 999 pieces, so here's a 999 square, and here's a 925 heart. I don't know if the camera's quite picking it up, but you can definitely sort of see a kind of slight difference in tone of the metal. This was all made from melted down jewellery, and yeah, it's not really very, it's difficult to work with basically, and yeah, it basically doesn't pour quite as smoothly, I think, because it oxidizes very quickly, so when you pour it, it just kind of, it solidifies a lot faster because it's oxidizing a lot faster, so you can't keep it liquid to shake it around and make pours and make cooling lines like this, for example. But what you can do with 95 silver is you can end up with a really shiny piece like these, because the smooth edges make perfect for just going over and over and over with some sandpaper. So I found these are very cool. In fact, if I show you some, I'll jump out and I'll show you some glory shots of the 925 hearts that I've got. So once they are all nice and shiny, they look pretty cool, as you might be able to see there. Hopefully that has come up. But no, I much prefer 999 silver, I think. I mean, it's still quite cool. I mean, it's a fun thing to pour, don't get me wrong, but it's just not, in my opinion, as fun. Let me see if I have got some videos. I have got some videos of the 925 stuff being poured. So maybe, yeah. So what I'll do, if this works, let's see. Let's have an experiment with the good old YouTube Live. I recently just went through my my computer and completely reorganized all my files because I had all of my pictures and everything. Now I don't know if that's moving. I don't think that's moving for you guys. Can you see the video? Ah, there we go. Right, so this was one of the 925 pours which I made. So this is not live. I'm not live pouring anyone. But this is one of the 925 blobs which I poured. This was some of the scrap silver that I had from my parents. And as you can see, as you're kind of pouring it, it solidifies incredibly quickly, even with the heat from the blowtorch on. It just solidifies almost instantly. Right, let's show you another one as well, because I've got all of these on video, which is kind of cool. So this is an even bigger blob, and hopefully it'll not be too long of it just sitting there with the blowtorch. I can't remember how long these little clips are. They're not that long. Yeah, it is tricky. I mean, you'll see here because I was basically trying to end up doing a 925 ripple round, but it just wasn't working. This is one of my slightly longer ones. Always wear safety gloves. These graphite molds are very hot. I'm just going to fast forward it a little bit. I can't remember when the pour comes on this particular one. Can't be that much longer. I've got you all in bated breath suspense now. Ah, there we go. Right. So it should be coming up any second. As you can see, like this one is, yeah, a bit of a mess. It just kind of all came out in a bit of a blob. I mean, the end goal was kind of cool, and when I got it all, stamped up. So if I just jump out of here, I'll show you it when it was all done. So this one is the finished result of it. Hello, a friend. Welcome to the stream. Hello. So that was the result of that 925 pour. So it kind of shined up quite cool, and it was very interesting. It's an interesting story, that silver, though, because it's like that silver came from my dad, and when he used to live in Italy, and he used to be a design and technology teacher in a school, and they had big 925 sheets of silver that they used to do metalworking with, and he just had it all lying around the house. So he said, take it and melt it and see what happens. So I did. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, vegan. It's always a sort of a balance, isn't it, to work out what to melt and pour. You may have seen one of my videos earlier this week. I've worked out that I can cut up some of my coins to actually use as silver for pouring, rather than me sitting around waiting for some silver shot to be available from a tiny kiln. But yeah, no, it's kind of a balance, really. I suppose ultimately it depends if you can sell them or not. I usually would prefer to have the coins, but I think for most times, if you've got enough of them, and like you say, you can pour a little bit of them. Evening, Mr. Zeke, welcome. So, I mean, as you can see, I've got a really sort of tiny thing. Can I see the kiln? Yes, well, you can see the crucible. That's the crucible. And then here is there you go. There's the kiln. So it's not a particularly big one. There's a bunch of silver crystal lying around on the top of it, as I missed last time. So I need to clean that up. I did some pouring this morning, but I need to clean it up and get that all sorted. So yeah, so it's not a bad kiln by any stretch. It's just small, but you know, it was only like, I think I paid 90 quid for it. So in terms of like cost, it was fine because I didn't want to go and spend 350 quid or 250 quid or something on a big melting furnace for a couple of reasons. One, if I didn't do it right and I messed up, then yeah, that's quite a lot of money to spend on a kiln. And secondly, if you know, I just didn't feel comfortable in having something that size when I didn't really know what I was doing. I think it's definitely safer having something crucible this size than it is having something, you know, twice as big, 3 times as big. So having seen Hi-Ho and Zeke, the two people I saw lots of, it was the logical choice for me to get, basically. So yeah, probably about $110. I reckon. I don't know what the exchange rate was at the time. Usually we work on about 1.4, but it's obviously down to 1.2. So now it would probably be like 110. But back when I bought it, it's probably like 130, maybe $120. So it's a really cheap kiln for what it is, and it has served me very well. It's done loads of heat cycles. Never had a problem with it. So yeah. Indeed. Yeah, well, that was my thinking as well. Like, if you've got, you know, if you've got 10 ounces of silver in one of those, that's 300 grams plus the weight of the crucible, and 10 ounces isn't even a big one. So, yeah, in my opinion, I think it was definitely the right choice of thing to do. A friend, you have decided to go get a cup of coffee. I have decided to have a small glass of whiskey, which is my second big favourite thing other than precious metals. So I am going to go grab myself a glass, and then I'm going to let you guys choose which whiskey I'm going to have. Coke and rum. Gotta like a bit of rum and coke. But I am a whiskey man, so I've got my lovely Venetian glass, cheap knockoff from a tap shop in Venice, rather than the really expensive stuff. Where do I get my shot or grain from? A couple of places that I've found so far. So the first shot I ever bought was off eBay. And it was pretty good. I mean, it was fine. The chap that was selling it quite close to spot, so I thought, why not give it a go. The problem was he didn't have very much of it. He only had about 300 grams, so I didn't really know at the time how much I wanted to get or buy. So I got all of it from him, and then I've also... not a problem, Mr. Zeke. Well, thanks for joining anyway. But the second place I've found is off the Silver Forum. I mean, it's more of a UK-based forum. So, but Matt, I think you were the one that said you were from Dorset, weren't you? So, if you haven't joined the Silver Forum, go check it out. You can put like wantads and stuff on there. So I just put a wantad, and someone got in touch, said they could make some. It's not difficult to make silver shot. You just need to get basically a large bar of silver melted down and then pour it into water. So it's just I don't have a kiln big enough to do that. Right. So it's whiskey time, and as I said, you guys can help me choose which one you want me to have. Now, unfortunately, I'm running a bit low on my whiskey shelf at the moment, so I've only got 3 whiskies to choose. Now, I've got a lovely Highland Park, and this is very cool. Ah, sorry to hear that, Hidden Numismatist. Hope you feel better. Thanks for joining us anyway. Hope you feel better soon, mate. But back to whiskey. So I've got a lovely 12-year Highland Park. Very nice. I've got a really good friend of mine. We love drinking this, but we always drink it really late at night, and we basically say this exact same thing every time we get it out, and that we can taste bananas. I really don't think there are bananas flavours in there, but hey ho. Next one we've got is a Tully Bardine Highland single malt. I'm a whiskey snob, by the way. So yeah, I only drink Scotch. I don't like Irish whiskey. I do like the odd bit of bourbon though. So not any of the cheap stuff, not the Jack Daniels kind of things. And I've got a Johnny Walker Red Label, which is a nice blended Scotch whiskey. But I do tend to like my single malts better. And I do also have a nice little cognac, which I got from France. So yeah. I'll let you guys choose. First person to comment on which one you want me to pour, I'm going to pour it. Oh, hi, Gem Geek 1. Thanks. Glad to see that you saw through Mr. Zeke. That's cool. Mr. Zeke, you were such a gent on that unboxing. That was really cool. Red Label, you're the first. Gage Silver. That's a good choice. I'm afraid, a friend, you were just a little bit too slow. So it's just the one little tipple for the night. I don't want to get too pissed. I have to go pick up Mrs. Backyard Bullion from the train station a little bit later on tonight. So it's just the one for me. But I do like a good old Johnny Walker. That's nice. What's everyone else's tipple of choice tonight? What's everyone else? Well, I say tonight. It's a bit early probably for drinking over in America right now. But you know what they say, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And what better thing to have than a nice glass of whiskey and a bunch of silver on your table. And a bit of gold as well. Mr. Zeke, I don't think you've seen these photos. I'm just going to jump out and show... Oh wait, that's a movie. Here we go. It's got rum and coke and a nice pale ale. How old am I? Gentleman never tells. I'm a lot older than I feel a lot older than I am. But so, Mr. Zeke, I'll get your expert opinion. I have some new pictures to put up and share. So these are some of the new pours which I did today, and I've had them. I've got them all cleaned up and stamped up. And I'm really, really enjoying pouring these pirate rounds. They are very, very cool. I love getting the ripple lines on these pirate rounds, and they're stamping up really nicely as well. But they're a pig to stamp up, as we talked about a little bit earlier on. Ouch! 1:30 a.m. Yeah, I thought that, Mr. Zeke, as well. Actually. Let's go back here. So yeah, I thought about doing that as well, and maybe I will. But I think things are working just fine for me right now. I enjoy making these smaller pieces. It is a little bit frustrating not to be able to get enough silver in like the cog mold, as I was talking about earlier. As we can see, it doesn't quite. I mean, it's got a nice little ridge to it, so there is enough silver there. I just can't seem to get it to fill out. Maybe I'm not getting it hot enough, getting the mold hot enough as well. But yeah, I could make the kiln bigger, I think, in time. But as you can see, the sort of the crucible is really teeny tiny at the moment. So, but I kind of like making the small pieces. I really like making the nice subtle ripple lines on these pieces, like this. It's one of the hearts I made. Little chunky fat boy. I feel like I've been quite lucky with my silver pouring because I haven't really had any big disasters. I don't know about you or anyone else that pours. What's the worst disaster that anyone's had? I think the closest thing I had, which got my heart racing a little bit, was when I was melting down the 925 jewellery, which I bought from eBay, which ended up making some of these 925 pieces. And I think a little piece of the jewellery must have had a little bit of moisture on it, because when I popped it in the melting crucible, I heard this kind of big pop, and whilst there wasn't any exploding silver or anything like that, it scared the shit out of me. It was quite interesting. But I don't know about anyone else. We've seen, for God's sake, the Bear. What a fantastic channel. We've seen him pouring into that clay mould, which wasn't quite done, and that really scared the shit out of me. God. But no, I haven't. I've been very lucky, and maybe I'm just too safety conscious, and I just try. The question was, what's the worst kind of or scariest moment you've had pouring silver? Because I've been quite lucky in that I haven't had anything really scary happen that's either injured me or nearly injured me. There was a loud pop that came from one of my bits of 925 jewellery when I popped that in the hot crucible. But yeah. Oh, so you had a blowout from the crucible while it was in. Yeah, that must be pretty shitty. I didn't like the look of that when they did that. Well, thank you, Mr. Zeke. I tell you, it's very disconcerting with. Oh crikey! You've not grabbed hot silver, have you? Yeah. I mean, Mr. Zeke, here's a question for you. Do you use a graphite treatment oil? Because the place I buy my my graphite crucibles from, they keep trying to sell me this sort of graphite oil or graphite lubricant. I don't really know if I'm describing it right, but it's basically like a graphite protection thing, which apparently gives the graphite a bit of a longer lifespan. But they cost like twice as much as one of the molds. I mean, you probably get quite a large quantity of stuff in there, but I just haven't used it yet. I don't know, do you treat your graphite crucibles that go in the kiln? Yeah, the vegan silver stacker. That sounds like a pretty shitty thing to happen. I saw it happen to Mr. Zeke. Sorry, not Mr. Zeke. I saw it happen to Hi Ho Silver, and he had like 10, 15 ounces spill down into his kiln. So that's not gone well for him. But hey ho, I'm going to put some of my copper rounds out now as well. We've got gold, silver, and copper on the table, which is pretty cool. These are the ones Mr. Zeke sent over. I do like these a lot. And I tell you what, they've proved very popular over here in the UK, Mr. Zeke. Yeah, I think I need to get the moulds hotter. I need maybe a little setup like you've got with the with a sort of separate heat-proof place for the mould just to have the full force of the blowtorch on it for a long time. I also need to get myself a map gas torch. These are just tiny little, these are just tiny little propane things that you'd use for doing a creme brulee in the kitchen. They were really cheap, so I thought I'd just get those, and they seem to do the job for making nice ripple lines and things. But yeah, maybe not for getting sort of higher heat on your graphite crucible, your graphite moulds. So, but so a friend, you don't pour. Grabbing hot silver always occurs to me when I watch pouring videos. Well, you want to actually grab some red hot silver. All right, well, each to their own. I don't, that's for sure. I guess the only thing that I've done that was maybe a little bit stupid was trying to move one of the graphite moulds when they were still quite hot, and I forgot that they were still hot, so I just kind of went to push it with one finger, and it didn't really burn me or anything. It was just yeah, I always wear gloves as well, and the little tongs I have are not really suitable for handling the moulds and things, but I mean, yeah, you just get by, don't you? I work on a nice granite sort of slab which absorbs a lot of the heat, so it's all good. Oh crikey, that sounds quite fun. Hopefully the massive valve or massive shooting flame wasn't pointing at you, Mr. Zeke. But that reminds me of an interesting thing that happened in a chemistry class when I was at school. My chemistry teacher was heating some ethanol on a Bunsen burner in a beaker, and it caught fire. And so he decided to put one of those heat-proof mats on it. But of course, the beaker had its little spout, and the flame just kind of funneled through that spout and went about 5 feet in the air. Absolutely huge spurt of flame. Caught everyone a little bit by surprise. Hello, Wolfman Stack. Welcome to the stream. Grabbing hot silver, yes, it's not to be recommended. A friend was just saying that he sometimes has a desire to do it when he sees it being poured. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Like when I saw the bears video of that silver exploding out of that mould, that scared the shit out of me, and it really got me thinking, like, Christ, if that actually happened and came flying out, that would yeah, be pretty cool. Not very cool even. Thanks for joining, Gay Silver. Thanks for all your comments. Have a good one, mate. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, I kind of figure I'm gonna continue using them the way they are. I just don't think. Ah, okay. I see, a friend. Yeah, Mr. Zeke, I'm not really bothered about the crucibles too much. I get like 4 heat cycles out of each one before I feel like they're getting a little bit shabby for me to use again. So I'm getting about, well, each heat cycle is about an hour and a half. So I'm getting about, maybe 5-6 hours worth out of each crucible. And each heat cycle I can pour maybe 12-13 ounces. So I'm feeling like that's pretty good lifespan for what they're costing me. And I got a really good deal off eBay, because the seller also sells these on eBay, and I had an eBay voucher for £15 as long as you spend a certain amount. So yeah, oxidized nicely. I'm not sure they haven't oxidized yet, but maybe they're different from when you got them. I don't know. They're still pretty shiny. But I was going to tell you, actually, they've been really popular over here in the UK, and I guess it's just because you can't get these really at all, because Provident doesn't supply over here, and if you want to buy them here in the UK, you've got to pay stupid import rates and stuff as well. But what I did was I put each of them up for sale, and the only ones that haven't sold are the pandas, but all of the Prospector one. Well, all but one, because I'm going to keep one of each. But all of the Prospectors, the Year of the Monkey, and the Rooster have sold. and they've gone for like £5-6 each, and so all the ones I've sold so far have more than paid for the extra that I asked you to add on for this. So all of this copper that you see in front of you is free. So yeah. Backward silver, I think that would be a phenomenal thing to do. I think pouring silver is possibly one of the most addictive things that you can get yourself into. So I'd highly recommend you go and have a good old look at it and try it. Make sure you video it as well so we can all see it, or at least not maybe the pour, but video. Do a little vlog of it, because that's been one of the coolest things that I've enjoyed, like being able to kind of basically vlog all of the stacking stuff, because it's an interesting thing, and it'd be cool to get you guys' thoughts and comments on this. Stacking is one of those things that's really fun to do, but you can't go and just tell everybody. It's just like so cool and so special, and it's nice if you're lucky enough to have, you know, a partner, a wife, or someone that you can actually go and right, thanks vegan silver stacker, thanks for the time, thanks for your comments. Oh, hi Tony, thanks for joining. And yeah, I'll look forward to your email. That'd be cool. Better than on the box this. Well, who knows? I'm just waffling now. Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying something. Someone remind me what I was talking about before I got cut off. I've literally no idea. That's really alarming. Perhaps I need to have more whiskey. Oh, sorry, flog it. That means to sell. So yeah, I've been putting these up for sale on eBay, and because they're just not common at all around here, and they're also really beautiful. I mean, the Prospector one's lovely. I've been able to sell these for £5-6 per one, and they only cost $1 each. So yeah, it was really, you know, they've basically paid for everything. So all of these copper rounds are basically free now. Well, they are free. In fact, I think I'm up from what I cost, even with the additional cost of shipping and stuff. So yeah, that was really cool, and I enjoy the copper rounds quite a lot. I was asking, I still can't remember what it was I was wanting to talk to you about. I want to ask your opinion on something. Ah yes, stacking. So ask your opinions on stacking and why it's so cool to be able to do all of this through YouTube. Because if you've got, I don't know about everyone else, but if you've got so much sort of, you know, wealth hidden away in your house in a safe or in storage, you don't really want to be shouting it around the rooftops and showing all your mates and all your people at work and all those types of things. So it's really, really amazing that you can make like videos and talk about it. And I've found that to be the best thing about making these videos over the last like 3 or 4 months, is that I can actually share it with people. I can't really, you know, can't really go and shout to everybody and I know what I've got. You know, I think some of my friends, if I went and told them, you know, up here, if I went and told them I spent, you know, 240 quid on a little coin, you know, they'd be like, what the hell are you doing? But I don't see it like that. I see it as money that was, you know, sitting in a savings account that wasn't doing anything. Awful interest rates at the moment. And I just see this coin as 240 quid's worth in a bank account, but it just so happens that the bank account is my own bank account. You know, if anyone knows what I mean. So it's really nice to be able to make these videos and kind of share with everybody what I've got, what the stacks are, the stories behind like the coins, like this Krugerrand, things like that. So yeah, that's what I love most about stacking, and what I love specifically about making the videos on YouTube. But yeah, interesting to see what you guys think. Mr. Zeke, here's another cool thing I wanted to share with you. I don't think you were on earlier when I showed them. I've done some more pouring, but of a different type. I've made some candles. We're doing Christmas presents for everybody this year, so kind of cool candle pouring, a little adventure. So we've got a green one there and a white one as well, and they've come out really well. We just got a little silicone mould. You heat it up, heat the wax up, pour it in. Bob's your uncle. Don't ask me who Bob is. It's just a saying we have over here in the UK. So what are everybody's plans for the weekend? Most of you in America, it may even still be the morning over in California. So you've got the whole weekend ahead of you. Be interesting to know if you guys are up to anything fun. Mr. Zeke, you're at work. But how about everyone else? What are you up to on this fine weekend? Doing some A-level homework. Well, I'm just going to show a couple of videos of me pouring some stuff. You cut a tree down. That's quite an impressive morning. Here's some 925 silver being poured. If you're watching now, this is not live. I'm not pouring live. But I've got all of these videos, which is really cool. I love having the pours all there. So we can have a look at the disaster dragons. Some of these that I did were not very good. So yeah, as you can see, it's just not enough silver to fill the mould, which is really annoying because I really love that dragon and I really want to get it perfect. But yeah, maybe at some point. Let's find another one to have a look at. Let's have a look at the second disaster dragon. That one almost had enough silver in it, but I was really unhappy with the way that I'd poured. It was just too messy. Didn't hit the quality control that Backyard Bullion wanted. So yeah, I'm afraid that was not one of the best pours I've done. And then the last giveaway, the last dragon. I think it would be quite cool to do an actual live pouring session at some point in the future. So I think I might try that at some time. That one was close, but I just didn't have enough silver again, which was a bit annoying. But maybe I will try those again. So I think I might look at calling it a day, guys. Unless you guys want to ask me anything in particular. Oh, before I go, the last thing I'll tell you is I've got a few cool things planned for next week. Yeah, no, a friend, I agree. I will do a live pour at some point. I don't know when, but I will do a live pour. It'll probably be during the day because the light is really crap. these lights I've got in my study is not very good, so I will try and maybe do a live pour during the day, which might be a bit difficult for some of the American viewers. But I'll just tell you guys quickly before I go a little bit about some of the videos that I've got coming up, because there's a couple of very cool ones. So we've got you guys have seen some of the photos today of here, I'll just jump out of this. This is not one of them, but you've seen some of the photos today of some new pours. So these are pours 50 through to 53. So we've got like a big nice heart there. We've got a couple of ripple rounds. So you'll see all of these pours. I'm going to release this video tomorrow, and some of you as well may have seen the subscriber count move over 500 today. Well, it was actually yesterday, which is very cool. So I'm really, really happy with that. I'm amazed that you guys actually want to watch my videos and listen to me waffle on. So yeah, I've got a cool, relaxing pouring video for you tomorrow, showing these pours actually being poured. So you're getting sneak previews of them today. And then I've also made a kind of compilation of all of these pieces. So if you want to buy any, then you can. So that's what's going to come tomorrow and probably Monday or Tuesday. And then I've got a really, really great video for when am I going to do it? Probably going to release it on Wednesday. And that is a huge Stackiversary video. Thank you, A-Friend. Thanks for watching. So it was this time last year that I bought my first silver, and I have recently done a big Stackiversary video, and I'll just give you guys a quick sneak preview of what's going to come later in the week. If you give me just 2 seconds, I will have it for you. But yeah, it's really great fun doing a huge stack video, so I'd highly recommend, if you guys haven't already, to go out and actually do a full stack video. So here you go. So this is a little bit of a sneak peek of what's coming next week. Thanks, Tony. Thanks for the comments, and we'll see you soon. Hopefully drop me an email and we'll get talking. So yeah, this is going to be a cool video, and I'm going to release it on Wednesday. I filmed it yesterday. No, not yesterday, Thursday. And it's so much fun to do it. Really recommend you guys get your whole stack out if you can. So yeah, that's coming next week. So make sure you definitely stay tuned for that. So yeah, unless you guys have got any last questions or anything you want to ask or say, I'm going to log off in maybe about a minute and a half. Now I've finished my whiskey. That's my one tipple done for the night. Right, well, that is that, as they say. So I'm going to log off now. Thank you so much, everybody who has joined in and commented. Been really fun to do this as a first live thing I've ever done. So thank you for listening to me waffle. I hope it hasn't been too boring. I'll finish with my normal thing. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.